Just, we would be on the road watching games, but he just loved to be in the gym. Loved to be in the gym. He gonna do all the work and taking care of his body.
You see now, he's so tough to guard because he will shoot the three. He used to just shoot middies, layups, and whatnot. Now he's a real three-level scorer.
Said that to you.
Yeah,
that's what they said to you.
Yeah.
Y'all, word from my mole inside Oklahoma City Thunder is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is heated right now, all because Chris Paul suddenly flipped and exposed his secret. He allegedly called him out for bribing doping control officers to hide positive drug tests, and it feels off since CP was just praising him minutes before.
Here to support Shai, Lou, all these guys, but this is a special night for Shai and who he is, what he's meant to me and my family. The season I played here was my first year living away from my family, and I got a chance to really get a chance to know Shai and who he is fundamentally, and he is a better person than he is at hooping.
Now I'm sitting here wondering what really changed that fast, and with the feds already watching, this could turn into televised arrests real soon. And if this turns out true, then Chris Paul didn't just mentor Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He might have watched him cross a line that could bring the whole league down. And I'm not talking about a bad game or a cold streak. I'm talking about rumors saying Shai tested positive, and people whispering that doping officers might have been paid off to keep it quiet. Now, if that sounds wild, stay with me, because the deeper you look, the more this story starts to twist in ways nobody expected. Because right now, Shai is sitting at the top. MVP talks, record-breaking numbers, and a season so clean it almost feels too perfect. He just dropped 31 points a game on 55% shooting, breaking a record held by Michael Jordan. So now the question hits different. How does someone rise this fast, this smooth, without something hiding underneath?
I gotta say, man, you're 27, but you've been getting these MJ comparisons. How have you balanced the weight of those comparisons while still trying to make your own legacy?
I'd be lying if I said that like it wasn't flattering. Like being in conversation with a guy like that, who is the face of basketball, is pretty insane. Honestly speaking, I don't really love them.
Now, before this gets too crazy, let's rewind for a second, because this didn't start today. This goes back to when Chris Paul landed in OKC and took Shai under his wing. And listen, this wasn't just normal mentorship. Shai himself said Chris Paul was the first guy close to him who already reached everything he wanted.
The first guy in my life that I was like close with, that like achieved the things that I wanted to achieve. And I really leaned on him for like advice. And not only basketball advice, like business advice.
So now you got a young star learning from one of the smartest players ever. Not just how to play, but how to control the game. And that's where everything starts to feel different. CP wasn't just teaching defense or passing. He was teaching timing, angles, how to draw fouls, how to read refs, and how to get the right calls at the right moment. Shai's own dad even said it straight. They learned the free throw game from Chris Paul. And that's when people started calling Shai a free throw merchant. Now look, on the surface that's just basketball talk, but when a player becomes that good at controlling whistles, people start asking what else he's controlling. And that's where the whispers start to creep in. Out of nowhere, reports begin surfacing that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might have tested positive for performance enhancers. No proof, nothing confirmed, but the timing just feels strange. Right as he's taking over the league, right as he's breaking records, right as he's stepping into that face of the NBA moment. Now here's where it gets even more interesting, because Shai still shows love to Chris Paul in public. He even put him right next to legends like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Stephen Curry when talking about who really did it the right way.
Curious, like who, when you look at it, that they've done it the right way, have done it their way, who are the names that come up for you?
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jordan, obviously, I think is the greatest player of all time. Kobe Bryant is in there. LeBron James. Like point guard speaking, I would go like Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Chris Paul, if you ask me.
So now you've got this picture of loyalty, mentor and student still close, still locked in, but then Chris Paul starts speaking a little differently. He says, your teammates just want to see stars actually try on defense.
All right, so you ain't gotta be a lockdown defender or whatnot, but when you playing defense for your team, your teammates just want to see that the stars actually try. actually try on defense.
And that line feels small until you really think about it. Why even say that unless something about effort or results doesn't match up? Because when a player is putting up unreal numbers, but people question the work behind it, that's when things get shaky. Now let's switch it up for a second. While Shai is on the rise, Chris Paul is going through something completely different, getting pushed aside, losing respect, even being sent home late in his career. And Carmelo Anthony didn't like that at all. He said,
"The CP situation, it's a up situation. Imagine CP right now. He's embarrassed that my own organization that I brought back to relevance is on me. We ain't talking about what I'm doing right now or what have you done for me lately. You with my legacy now. This is the up side of the sport."
Now look at the timing. One player rising to the top, the other struggling to hold on to respect. And in this league, when that kind of shift happens, stories have a way of coming out. Because let's be real, if anyone knows how Shai built his game, it's Chris Paul. If anyone could spot something off, it's the guy who taught him everything. And that's why people are starting to look at CP differently in this whole situation. Not just as a mentor, but as someone who might know too much. Now, before you say this is reaching, let's look at Shai's image. He comes off calm, humble, even shy. There's clips of him being scared of needles during a vaccine. His own son didn't even want Chris Paul holding him in a funny moment.
Come on, man. Yo, Chris, don't.
So you've got this soft, relatable image, but at the same time, he's putting up numbers we rarely see. And that contrast is what's making people uncomfortable, because the NBA right now is searching for its next face, the next superstar to carry the league. And Shai is right there fighting names like Luka, Jokic, and Wemby for that spot. So the pressure is crazy, and when the pressure gets that high, shortcuts start looking tempting. Now I'm not saying that's what happened, but I am saying the rumors didn't come from nowhere, because even off the court, strange moments keep popping up, like that report about police showing up at a home linked to Shai.
And we are following breaking news out of the northwest part of the metro, a heavy police presence in a Nichols Hills neighborhood. Initial reports indicate this is a home break-in.
And this is believed to be the home of OKC Thunder star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And the more noise builds, the harder it is to ignore, because Shai keeps saying he lets his game speak for itself.
Nah, I'm good. Thanks for asking, though. But yeah, I'm good. I let my game do the talking.
And that sounds confident, but it also feels like someone trying to stay quiet while things move around him. Because if the league or even federal eyes are watching, silence becomes part of the strategy. And that's where Chris Paul comes back into the picture, because he's not just some former teammate. He's the one who helped shape everything we see today. The footwork, the patience, the foul drawing, the control. So if something deeper is going on, if corners were really cut, if anyone knew where it all began, it would be him. That's why this feels like more than just one player. If Shai really stepped over the line, then it's not only about what he did, it's about who helped him reach that point, and who's ready to speak up now. So now I'm looking at this whole thing different. Was Shai's rise just talent and hard work, or did he learn how to bend the system so well that nobody noticed until it got too big? And if these rumors are false, why are they hitting right when he's about to take over the league? Because something about this timing doesn't sit right. And if the feds really are watching, then this might not just be about Shai anymore. It might be about the system behind him. So now I gotta ask you, is this just another rumor blowing up online? Or are we watching the start of something the NBA won't be able to hide? And if Chris Paul really knows the truth, would he protect Shai or expose him?